It's 11:47 p.m. You're already in bed, phone propped on your chest, and a notification slides down from the top of your screen. Nordstrom Rack, red banner, 70% off, ends at midnight. You've got 40 seconds of relatable content coming, and it starts with the number that just lit up your screen. Here's the thing nobody tells you about that banner. You're not looking at a deal. You're looking at a math problem your brain is about to fail on purpose because it's designed to fail it. Watch what happens in the next 10 seconds. You tap the notification. A jacket pops up. Above the price, in gray with a line through it, sits a number, $260. Below it, in red, bold, $78. Your brain does exactly one thing with that gray number. It locks onto it. That's the anchor. Psychologists Tversky and Kahneman documented this back in 1974. Once your brain sees a number first, every number after it gets judged against that first one, not against reality. It doesn't matter if $260 was ever a real price for that jacket. It doesn't matter if you'd never in your life pay $260 for a jacket from a mall outlet brand. The gray number did its job the second your eyes landed on it. You're not asking, is $78 a fair price for this jacket? You're asking, is $78 less than $260? And the answer to that second question is always yes. That's the whole trick. That's reason one, and it's the obvious one. You've probably heard some version of anchoring before. Stick with me, because it gets worse. Because here's what almost nobody's telling you. That gray $260 might not be a real number at all. Not inflated, not aspirational, fake, made up, never charged to a single customer, ever. And I'm not speculating. There's a paper trail. Boohoo, the online fashion retailer, paid out $197 million in 2023 to settle a class action over exactly this, inflating the original price before slapping a discount on top so shoppers thought they were getting a steal that never existed. Kohl's got hit with the same accusation back in 2013, a case called Inohos versus Kohl's, where a shopper argued the regular price on the tag was never the regular price at all. JCPenney's facing the same claim in a case brought by a shopper named Carranza, that the company manufactures a fictional before price just so the after price looks like a gift. The Federal Trade Commission has language for this. They call it an artificial inflated price, a number that exists for one purpose only, to make the discount look bigger than it is. So when you see that crossed out $260, you're not necessarily looking at what the jacket used to cost. You might be looking at a number some retailer typed into a system specifically so your brain would do the anchoring thing I just described. The math isn't broken. The input is fake. You did the subtraction correctly and still got scammed because 70% off of a made-up number is still a made-up number. Now stay in this scene with me, because there's a second thing happening that you can't even see, and it's happening in your hand right now, literally, physically in your hand. You're not paying with cash. You're paying with a card saved in the app or Apple Pay. One thumbprint and it's done. And there's a study, Prelick and Lowenstein, 1998, out of MIT and Carnegie Mellon, where they had 60 people bid on real stuff, concert tickets, electronics, the kind of stuff you'd actually want. Half the group bid using cash, half bid using credit cards. Same items, same room. The credit card group bid almost double what the cash group bid. Not 10% more, not 20, nearly double. Because handing over actual cash triggers something in your brain that a card tap just doesn't. Researchers call it the pain of paying, and it's not a metaphor. It shows up in behavior, in how much people are willing to spend on the exact same object. When you tap your phone to buy that jacket, there's no physical loss registering, no 20s leaving your wallet, no moment where you feel lighter. The $78 just happens, off-screen, later, on a statement you won't look at for 3 weeks. That's reason 2, and it's already working on you right now at 11:47, in bed, thumb hovering. Here's the part that's going to sting a little because it's the one that's actually about you specifically and not just consumers in general. There's research, Bahachi and Block 2011, showing that people feel more pain when they spend money that was hard to earn. If your job is physically demanding, if you're clocking a long shift, if the money in your account represents real hours of real effort, spending it hurts more. Which sounds like it should protect you, right? Like you'd be more careful. But flip it around. If spending normally hurts you more, then anything that makes spending feel like winning instead of losing is going to hit you harder than it hits someone who barely notices their money leaving. That relief you feel when the app tells you saved $182, for you, that relief isn't a nice bonus. It's doing more work. It's covering for more pain than it would for somebody who doesn't feel they're spending in the first place. You're not weak for falling for this. You're actually more wired to feel the fake win because you're more wired to feel the real loss the rest of the time. The people this hits hardest aren't the careless ones. They're the ones who work the hardest for their money and rarely get to feel good about spending it. And this banner hands them that good feeling for free, time-stamped with a countdown clock attached so they don't have time to check if it's real. So you're lying there. Gray number did its job. Thumbprint is ready. Countdown says 31 minutes, and your brain has already decided this is a win before you've spent a single dollar. The next time that banner shows up, and it will, probably before the week's out, before you tap it open, do just this one thing. Cover the gray number with your thumb. Physically, just the crossed-out price. Gone. Look only at the number underneath it, the $78, not the $260, and say that number out loud like you're telling a friend what you spent. Not I saved $182. Say I'm about to spend $78. Out loud, actual words, actual dollar amount. Watch what that does. The anchor's gone. The framing's gone. You're not comparing to a made-up number anymore. You're just deciding on its own terms whether a jacket is worth 78 of your actual dollars, the ones that came from your actual shift, your actual hours. Some nights that's still a yes. Buy it. This isn't about never spending $78 on a jacket. It's about making that decision with the real number, not the fake one standing next to it. This week, watch for the specific feeling, not the general one. It's not the urge to spend. That's too vague. You'll miss it every time. It's smaller than that. It's the half-second jolt right after your eyes land on a percentage, 70% off, flash sale, whatever. That jolt, that little chest flutter of, oh nice, that's the tell. That's the anchor landing. If you catch that feeling before you catch the price, you've caught the whole mechanism in the act, live in real time on your own phone. Because here's the sentence I want stuck in your head after this. The original price on that tag might never have existed at all. Sit with that. Every discount you've ever felt proud of might have been measured against a number some retailer invented specifically to make you feel proud. That's not a scolding. That's just what's actually happening on the other side of that red banner. If tonight's the first time you've realized your bank account has a math problem, there's a lot more of this kind of digging waiting for you on this channel. So next time that countdown hits 0 and the notification disappears, what number are you actually going to remember tomorrow? The 70% or the $78 that left your account?